right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for 140 pounds Grappler Fall Classic preview. The Grappler Fall Classic is going down this Saturday, October 18th, in Battle Creek's Kellogg Arena, which is the mecca of high school wrestling here in the state of Michigan. It's a great venue. Going to be a lot of fun again this year. 5th annual. Hard to believe we're already on our 5th GFC. I'm Tony Greathouse, MichiganGrappler.com. With me, I have the brains that fuel the Associated Wrestling Press. Our high school analyst, Steve Wodzinski. Our college analyst, JJ Johnson. These guys know more about college and high school wrestling in the country than most of you will ever need to know. And we're going to break down 140 pounds right now. We're going to go through all the seeds, and then these guys are going to give their expert analysis and tell you everything that you need to know about these guys in this weight class and what you need to look out for this Saturday when 140 pounds gets called to the mat. Steve, can you please give me a quick rundown of who we got seated and a little bit of what their credentials are?
Number one, Nate Limmex. He is hands down the guy here. Grand Rapids Catholic Central, two-time Division III state champ, Flow Nationals champ, undefeated at the Disney Duels this year. 2 years ago, he was a GFC runner-up. He was injured last year, else he would have been right in the mix to win a GFC title. He's ranked number 11 in the country at 132 pounds.
Recent Purdue commit. Boiler up.
That's right. At number 2, we got Austin Thompson, Marysville, Michigan, Division II state champ. At number 3, we got Tommy Cash from Indiana, state champ. Him and Thompson have gone back and forth all summer long. Thompson got the most recent win a week ago. At number 4, we got another Michigan state champ, Austin Melton from DeWitt. And at number 5, we got yet another state champ. This time it's Dylan Taylor from West Virginia, who was at the GFC last year. I think he took 7th. At number 6, we got Cale McCormick, two-time state placer, Indiana, really tough kid. Number 7, Adam Lewis, two-time Florida state runner-up. Number 8, Chris Shaner, Bay City, Western Michigan, state runner-up in Division II 2 years ago. Number 9, Trent Rosley, Hesperia, Division IV state runner-up. So that's 9 state finalists. At number 10, we got Matt Gudenow, Division I state placer. Number 11, Brad Laughlin, Indiana state qualifier. Bryce Rogers, Florida state placer at the 12 seed. And then rounding it out, we got Ty Jasmine, Canton, Michigan. Dylan Stewart, Grand Ledge, Michigan. And Joanne Britton, Whitehall, Michigan, all-state qualifiers, and the 16 seed is a stud freshman from Ohio, Dominic DiPietro.
That's a pretty star-studded weight class. 5 state champs, 9 state finalists. I mean, that means we're going to have at least one guy who was in the state finals last year in his respective state that's not going to place in this tournament. Possibly more, because there's some really good guys in the lower seeds as well. JJ, let me go to you now. What do you see in this weight class? Obviously Limmex is the class of the field, but what do you see as other guys to watch for, and how you see this weight kind of playing out?
Yeah, kind of as Steve alluded to, Thompson and Cash are probably the next level, and they're not too far below, but I think Thompson will beat Cash again, but it'll be another close match. Tommy Cash is a pretty strong kid, pretty tough to score on. So it'll be maybe a lower scoring match.
I think the riding time helps him too.
That's true. That could be a game changer. It would be interesting if Cash did make the finals to wrestle Limmex, because they could meet down the road with Cash going to Indiana and Limmex going to Purdue. So that could be a potential Big Ten matchup.
I like that.
Going down the list, one more spot, Austin Melton, really athletic, explosive kid. We'll see how he does this year coming off the state championship. And like you said, Cale McCormick is really tough. He placed at the GFC last year, if I'm not correct, or has in the past. So he's another guy to watch for.
Steve, what do you see as far as how this weight plays out? Potential matchups, quarterfinals, semifinals, and then anybody that you see who can challenge Nate Limmex to win this weight class?
To be honest, first things first, Limmex, I think that Cash especially, he's a really tough kid on top. He could maybe use the riding time to his advantage, kind of steal a period and make it a close match, but I just really don't see Limmex losing. But looking at the bracket, I really like, from the early going, round of 16, we got 2 Michigan State runner-ups. Number 8 seed Chris Shaner, number 9 seed Trent Rosley. I think Rosley placed at the GFC last year. That's a match I'm really excited about. Looking at the quarters, I'm excited to see Austin Melton. He just had an absolutely phenomenal state tournament last year, upset Jordan Hall from Lowell, won his first championship, and I'm interested to see what kind of summer he had as far as what kind of progress he's made. So to see him wrestle Dylan Taylor in the quarters as a 4-5 matchup would be really, really cool. And then looking at the semis, we talked about it a lot. The Thompson Cash match is one that I think everybody should watch. It's going to be a really fun match, and interesting to see how they've adjusted to each other because they're really familiar at this point.
We've talked about Thompson Cash in the semifinals, but another match to it that could be interesting is Cale McCormick, if the seeds play out the way that they should. Cale McCormick and Tommy Cash could potentially wrestle in the quarterfinals, which are two Indiana studs. Tommy Cash currently ranked number 1 by the Indiana Wrestling News at 145 pounds in their preseason rankings, and then Cale McCormick is ranked number 2 at 138 pounds by the Indiana Wrestling News in their preseason rankings. McCormick's ranked behind Brandon James, who we talked about in our 135-pound preview, one of the best kids in the country. So both these guys are studs who can compete. Cash has won a state title in Indiana. McCormick could. They're both going to compete for state titles in single-class Indiana. Could be a really good quarterfinal matchup with those guys as well. A couple great kids from the Hoosier State. We love having those Indiana kids here for the GFC. Let's talk about who you got winning it. I think I don't want to speak for you guys, but I think you guys both have Limmex winning it. But who do you see making the finals to wrestle Limmex, and how do you see how tight of a match do you see in the finals with Limmex? JJ, we're going to go with you first.
Yeah, so I got Limmex over Thompson. It'll be a close match, but probably controlled. Thompson is pretty tough on top, a little underrated from that position, but Limmex is pretty solid from all positions. So if I had to put a score on it, like a 7-2 type thing.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm thinking right around those lines. Limmex isn't a guy who's going to, he doesn't put up a ton of points. He's not a guy who's going to cut someone typically and go to work, but I think Limmex maybe somewhere in the 4 points or so victory margin with a lot of riding time.
All right, guys, there you have it. It looks like Nate Limmex is the guy to beat at 140 pounds this year, Grappler Fall Classic. He's looking to win his first Grappler Fall Classic title. When's the last time he lost?
2 years ago, Super 32.
Right after the Grappler Fall Classic. So it's been a solid 2 years since Nate Limmex has lost a high school match. And from the sounds of things, it's not going to happen this weekend. He's the guy to beat at 140 pounds. You can see these pre-seeds for yourself on GrapplerFallClassic.com, MichiganGrappler.com, and you can also go through and check out all our other previews. We're previewing every single weight, and we're breaking it down. These guys are giving their analysis, so you can have everything you need to know going into Saturday. If you're within a 10-hour radius, you need to hop in the car, you need to drive to Battle Creek, Kellogg Arena, get in the venue, and watch this tournament because it is going to be amazing from the beginning all the way to the end. We're also going to have some middle school and elementary studs coming from all around the country to do battle as well. So it's going to be a fun day, a lot to see, and we're going to be posting more videos than you're ever going to want to watch the days following. Everything from the championship, from the quarters on, is going to be filmed. In addition to more, we're going to have a fleet of video crew going all over, getting great matches, great interviews. So make sure that you stay up to speed, stay in tune, don't miss it because it's going to be amazing. Grappler Fall Classic, it's going down. Get some.